in a world where men can get pregnant.
In the opening scene, we are introduced to Dr. Alex Hess, an Austrian research geneticist, and his colleague Dr. Larry Arbogast, who is a gynecologist. Together, they have created a fertility drug called Expectane, with the aim of reducing the chances of miscarriage. They have even tested the drug on a chimpanzee, who has successfully become pregnant for 7 months. Excited by their breakthrough in science, the duo presents their research to the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, and anxiously awaits their decision. A week later, Larry's ex-wife Angela pays him an unexpected visit to reveal that she is pregnant. But not with his child. While initially overjoyed, Larry's happiness is short-lived, as Angela requests him to be her doctor. So, he promptly declines, asking her to find another physician. Shortly after, Larry receives a call from the head of the FDA review board named Noah Baines, who informs him that their drug has been disapproved. That's not all. The FDA has decided to replace their project with the one of Dr. Diana Redden from the Ovum Cryogenics Department. This turn of events leaves Alex devastated, as he had put their heart and soul into the research. In the wake of the FDA's rejection of their groundbreaking fertility drug Expectane, Dr. Alex Hess is considering starting anew in Europe. However, his colleague, Dr. Larry Arbogast, comes up with a risky but compelling idea. Canadian firm Linden Pharmaceutical has offered to fund their research, provided that they find a volunteer. Despite the drug's unapproved status, Larry believes that they are onto something big and suggests that they carry out the experiment secretly without the FDA's knowledge. Alex mentions that no woman would agree to try out the unapproved drug, but Larry has a solution. He suggests omitting the volunteer's gender and tries to convince Alex to impregnate himself. At first, the latter promptly refuses to do so, but he eventually agrees after giving it some thought.
I wouldn't mind a baby.
To proceed with their experiment, however, they need an egg for fertilization. Hence, Larry, in a daring move, sneaks into Dr. Diana's lab and steals an ovum labeled Junior. He then carries out the process and inserts the fertilized cell into Alex's body. That night, Alex has a vivid dream in which his potential offspring has his own face. He wakes up startled and finds himself at Larry's house. Later that day, Larry carries out a urine test and concludes that Alex is now pregnant, with their experiment's success. As the weeks go by, Dr. Diana continues her work in the lab, while Alex experiences a sudden onset of strange symptoms. He rushes to the bathroom to vomit and complains of sore nipples to his colleague.
They feel so funny.
Alex also talks incessantly about walks, massages, and naps, leaving Larry perplexed. Diana, who is curious about Alex's behavior, confronts him and asks if he is consuming any kind of drugs. Alex vehemently denies it, and to cover up their research, Larry comes up with a story about a random illness that causes patients to become fat with time. That night, Alex can't shake off the feeling of being pregnant. He reads books about pregnancy and looks at himself in the mirror. As days pass by, the drug's effects on him become more apparent, and he slowly transforms into a sensitive person just like pregnant women, quite unlike his true self. Alex even breaks down sobbing after watching TV commercials and contemplating fatherhood.
Will it come out my ass? Where will it come from? Will it come out my penis?
One day, Larry is preparing to attend a convention ceremony, and Alex also insists on joining him. He says that he has developed a fear of being left alone. Although Larry is initially hesitant, he agrees to take Alex with him when the latter threatens to stop the experiment. At the convention, Larry engages in discussions with his colleagues about their research, not realizing that the FDA head, Noah, is eavesdropping on their conversation. Unfortunately, Noah becomes suspicious that the duo is conducting human experimentation, which is a violation of FDA guidelines. He also notices Alex's unusual behavior, which he finds rather expressive, unlike his usual demeanor. In the midst of the party, an overexcited Alex asks Diana for a dance, to which she agrees. However, neither of them seems to know how to dance, leading to some awkward and embarrassing moments on the dance floor.
Yeah.
After leaving the convention venue, Larry is quick to realize that the experimental drug has had a significant impact on Alex's body. Concerned about his friend's well-being, he urges Alex to stop taking the drug immediately, explaining that it will lead to the natural breakdown and reabsorption of the embryo. Despite the fact that the time has come to end the experiment and share the results with Linden Pharmaceutical, Alex decides to continue taking the drug and carry the pregnancy to full term. He feels a deep connection to the child growing inside him and is determined to nurture it, even if it means undergoing an unnatural process. Larry is frustrated by Alex's decision, knowing that it could have serious implications for both his physical and mental health. But he also understands that his friend is no longer thinking rationally and is completely consumed by the desire to give birth to the child. With no other option, Larry agrees to help him with this unnatural process and performs a sonographic test to check on the baby's health. To his relief, the test shows that the child is growing normally and appears to be healthy. As Alex's pregnancy progresses, he becomes more and more like a pregnant woman. He experiences all the typical symptoms, including morning sickness, sore breasts, and emotional mood swings.
I'm happy! I'm sad!
Oh my, this impression's terrible. In the next scene, Alex can be seen busying himself in the kitchen, preparing a meal while simultaneously having a conversation with Larry over the phone. He reminds Larry to be home on time, just as a dutiful wife would, in a bid to convey the intensity of his own experience. In the midst of their conversation, Diana unexpectedly drops by to check on Alex. She informs him that she was simply curious and wanted to see how he was doing. The conversation gradually takes a romantic turn, leading to an intimate kiss. However, their moment of passion is interrupted by the unexpected arrival of Angela, who is also pregnant with her personal trainer. Seeing her, Diana feels uneasy and decides to leave. After this, Alex has dinner with Angela, during which she comments that he eats like a pregnant woman. He responds with a smile.
If only you knew.
Pretending to be ravenously hungry. The following day, Alex and Larry visit a clothing store to purchase some larger-sized outfits for the pregnant man. In the midst of this shopping spree, Alex reveals that he has decided to name his child Junior. This news surprises Larry, as he recalls that the ovum was also labeled with the same name, and also it's a very stupid name for a child. Nevertheless, he keeps his secret of having stolen the ovum from Diana's laboratory to himself. One day, Diana and Alex sit down for dinner together. During their conversation, Diana admits that she has preserved her own ovum in a container in her lab, and she has named it Junior. Alex is taken aback by this name and excuses himself from the dinner. He immediately confronts Larry at home and demands that he tell him the truth. Larry finally admits to stealing the ovum from Diana's lab, which means that the baby he has been carrying belongs to both Alex and Diana. Larry then blames Alex for continuing to consume the drug, which has led to their current predicament. However, Alex becomes furious and demands that Larry apologize to Junior. After some reluctance, the latter apologizes to the baby. Just then, Alex feels the baby kick and invites Larry to touch his abdomen. Unfortunately, the beautiful moment is noticed by Angela, who mistakenly assumes that they are partners. Caught in the act, Larry finally reveals the truth about Alex's pregnancy.
We gotta blow our own cover, Alex. She's gonna think we're gay.
Causing Angela to collapse out of shock. The very next day, Alex heads to Diana's lab to apologize for his behavior the previous night. However, on his way, he is spotted by Noah, who sees his body structure and finally realizes that Alex has conducted the experiments on himself. Meanwhile, Alex reaches the lab and comes clean to Diana about everything, including stealing her ovum labeled Junior from her lab. She is initially taken aback by this revelation, but soon grows angry, feeling that his actions have undermined the sacred role of womanhood and stripped her of her dignity. Soon after, Noah barges into the room with 2 security guards, accusing Alex of continuing the experiment at the lab's expense. He now demands that the pregnant man turn himself in, along with the baby. However, Alex is determined to take control of his own body and refuses to comply.
You cannot have my baby.
In a fit of rage, he pushes Noah against a table and flees the place. Outside the lab, Larry pulls up in his car and drives him away to safety. In order to ensure Alex's safety from Noah and the authorities, Larry decides to disguise himself as a woman and hide him in a retreat center for expectant mothers. There, he claims that Alex's masculine appearance is due to anabolic steroid use, and the retreat center's manager believes him. From that day onwards, Alex spends his days practicing yoga with other future mothers and learning about baby care. Amidst this, he also leaves several voice messages for Diana, requesting for a chance to explain himself. After a few days, Diana finally visits Alex at the retreat. He apologizes to her for everything and tries to explain the situation. Diana responds by saying that it does not matter who is pregnant, because in the end, he is the father and she is the mother. They then decide to raise the baby together. Meanwhile, Larry shares the experiment's data with Linden Pharmaceutical, and they agree to partner with him. Back at the retreat center, Alex experiences severe abdominal pain, so he rushes to his room to conceal his secret. After a while, Diana rushes to the retreat, while Larry instructs his colleague to prepare for an emergency C-section. Unfortunately, a hospital staff overhears their conversation and alerts Noah, who then immediately summons the media and the chief of the FDA, hoping to take credit for the world world's first pregnant man. However, Larry devises a plan to distract Noah by creating a decoy for Alex and enabling a private C-section. When Larry arrives at the hospital, the media only sees the pregnant Angela, causing disappointments among the crowd. This discredits Noah badly, causing him to get fired by the chief immediately. While Larry and Angela enter the hospital through the main entrance, Diana and Alex use the other way into the building, which is via the fire escape. Following this, they rush Alex to the operation theater and initiate an emergency C-section.
Cut me open! The baby! She's coming!
Diana is sent to keep Angela company in the waiting room, unaware that the latter is actually in labor herself. When she finally realizes this, Diana is unsure of what to do, but she tries her best to calm Angela down. Meanwhile, Alex is successfully able to give birth to a healthy baby girl.
Oh my god.
Much to the relief of his friends. In the next scene, Larry helps his ex-wife deliver a baby, making everyone erupt in joy. Moved by the experience, he asks for another chance from Angela, and she gladly accepts. They then decide to raise the baby boy together, whom they name Jake. This moment allows them to bond and form a deeper connection, healing the wounds of their past and looking forward to the future with their new family. The movie then skips forward 1 year, where we see that the two families are vacationing together to celebrate the birthdays of Junior and Jake. We also learn that Diana is pregnant with their second child. As they all enjoy each other's company, Angela expresses her desire for another child, but admits that she does not want to endure the physical challenges of pregnancy again. Alex responds to her by saying that there is another way, implying that Larry can carry the child for her. The movie ends as the group looks towards Larry, who is hesitant and nervous at the suggestion.
Come on, Larry, do it! Don't be a little pussy. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling sad. I feel happy. I feel sad.